Hello students, welcome you all to the next session regarding discussion of gear drive problems. In the previous video lecture, we have discussed regarding what are gears, why gears are used, advantages and disadvantages of gear drives, different types of gears, how the power is transmitted from one end of the gear to the another end of the gear, that is the driver gear and the driven gear, types of gear trains, simple gear train as well as compound gear train. So in today's session, we will be learning how to solve the problems on gear drives where we are calculating the velocity ratio, the number of teeth for a simple gear train, compound gear train, and some more examples we are going to solve today. So let us go one by one by solving these problems. Now, the first question which you are observing right now here is the velocity ratio of a gear drive is 2. Velocity ratio of a gear drive, it is 2. Driving wheel has 16 teeth. Driving wheel means it is the driver gear. It has a 16 teeth. The driver gear has 16 teeth, and this driver gear turns at 120 RPM. Find the RPM and the number of teeth on a driven wheel. You need to find the speed, number of teeth on the driven gear. Already you have studied how we are calculating the velocity ratio. Velocity ratio, it is calculated as the ratio of speed of the driven gear N2 divided by speed of the driver gear, which is equal to, how we write the number of teeth? Universal proportional. In the previous session, I have told you how we are writing the number of teeth. Number of teeth of a particular gear, that is the driver gear, it is inversely proportional to the number of teeth of a driver gear. Same even for the driven gear also, that is N2, it is also inversely proportional to the number of teeth on a driven gear. So now what does this become? N2 by N1 is equal to, here it becomes here T1 divided by T2. These are the things which we have discussed in the previous class. So now we will be solving the problems using these relations itself. So therefore, let us see the velocity ratio as we are discussing here. Given things which is already given in the question, as I told you, he has given the velocity ratio N2 by N1 is equal to 2. Then he has given the conditions with respect to the driver gear, that is driver T1 is equal to 16, N1 is equal to 120 RPM. Driven, both conditions are unknown. We need to find these things. So first we will write the relation for velocity ratio, that is velocity ratio of a simple gear train is equal to N2 by N1 is equal to T1 by T2, as I have discussed just now. So already we are having the ratio of N2 by N1. What is the ratio of N2 by N1? It is 2, which is given here. So if we simplify with T1 by T2, we can get the value of T2. So yes, we are writing here. How we got this value 2? As I have told you in the given question, the data is given itself. N2 by N1 is equal to 2. It is already given. So therefore, you will get the value of T2 as 8 teeth. Once you get the value of T2 as 8 teeth, T1 is given for us, N1 is also given in the question. Then you can find N2 using this above relation. N2 by N1 is equal to T1 by T2. So what do we get now using this relation? We get the number of teeth on a driven gear to be, we get the speed on the driven gear. We get the speed on the driven gear, that is 240 RPM. So these are things. So this is the first problem. Let us move to the next problem. So the next problem, the question is, there is a simple gear train which consists of 3 gears. The number of teeth on a driving gear is 60, on idler gear is 40, and on the driven gear 80. If driving gear rotates at 120 or at 1200 rpm, find the speed of the driven gear and also the velocity ratio. Sketch the arrangement of gear drive. So in yesterday's class we were discussing that what is a gear train. So gear train is one which is having more than 2 gears in a particular assembly. And again, in that simple gear train means for each gear, if there is only one shaft or each gear is mounted on only one shaft, we call it a simple gear train. So in this simple gear train, he has said that there are 3 gears. Number of gears is 3. The number of teeth on a driving gear, that is our driver gear, number of teeth are how much? 60. Idler 40. So what is this idler? In the previous class, I was telling you that when we want to transmit the power from the driver gear to the driven gear, if the shaft distance is much, then we are taking the help of the idler gears to transmit the power by placing them between the driver gear and the driven gear. So if you observe here, just now I am showing you a picture. This is our driver gear. Say he has said it is having around 60 teeth. Then here comes one idler gear. It is having some number of teeth as 40, and another one driven gear number of teeth as 80. This is the assembly. A small sketch. Now from the driver gear, number 1 is our driver gear. Number 2 comes the idler gear, and number 3 comes the driven gear. You need to transmit the power from a driver gear to the driven gear. As there is some space between 1 and 3, we are placing one small idler gear which is having a 40 number of teeth. Driving gear rotates at 1200 rpm. He has given the speed of the driver gear 1200 rpm. Find the speed of the driven gear, that is the speed of the driven gear has to be calculated, that is N3 has to be calculated here. Also the velocity ratio. So velocity ratio now here in this case, velocity ratio is what? Speed of the driven gear. What is our speed of the driven gear now here? It is, in this case it is N3. So the speed of the driver gear. What is our driver gear here? N1. So you need to find out the ratio of N3 by N1. And along with that, he has said sketch the arrangement of the gear drive. So already I have shown you a rough sketch. Another important point is showing the direction of the gear. So if the direction of the gear rotation is not mentioned in the question, then you can assume one direction starting from the driver gear. And we have seen that if the gears want to mesh with one another at these points, so they are at these meshing points, they turn in opposite directions. So let us assume that gear 1, that is the driver gear, it is turning or rotating in a clockwise direction. It is turning in clockwise direction. Yes, this is in clockwise direction. So it meshes with gear 2 idler gear. So when this is rotating in the clockwise direction, then definitely our gear 2, it has to rotate in the opposite direction. Then it is rotating in anti-clockwise direction. So once gear 2, it wants to transmit the power to the gear 3. So at this point there is contact. So now here gear 2 rotates in anti-clockwise direction, whereas gear 3 rotates in clockwise direction. So always keep in mind, if the direction of the gears is not given in your question, so then you can assume the direction for the driver gear and then go on setting the directions for the other gears also. So in this question, I have assumed that the driver gear rotates in the clockwise direction. Then the idler gear, it turns in anti-clockwise, and again the driven gear also turns in the clockwise direction itself. Now with these things, let us see how the problem can be solved here. Now going on to the things. Yes, given data. Yes, this is the sketch. So I was telling you driving gear number 1, idler gear number 2, driven gear number 3. We have assumed the driver gear direction as clockwise, idler gear anti-clockwise, and driven gear as again clockwise. Then the given data we have taken in a tabular form. He has given the number of teeth and the speed for the driver gear, that is the driving gear. Here we have written T1 is equal to 60, N1 is equal to 1200. For idler gear, he has given the number of teeth 40. For driven gear, the number of teeth given is 80. We need to find the velocity ratio, that is N3 by N1 we need to find out in this case, because N3 is our driven gear, speed of the driven gear, N1 is the speed of the driver gear. Now, solution part. So let's start with the solution. So as I told you that very important thing is in this question, the direction was not given. So I told you to assume that the driver gear rotates in the clockwise direction. So the velocity ratio for simple gear train, now we need to go on calculating this one. So what we get these things? Let us see the things. We have N3 by N1 is equal to T1 by T3. I already have told you that how we write the number of teeth, it is inversely proportional to the speed itself. So N3 by N1 is equal to T1 by T3. Provided this is valid for only the things of a simple gear train. This equation N3 by N1 is equal to T1 by T3. It is valid for a simple gear train. This equation changes when we go for a compound gear train. Let us see how it changes. So we will move to the next part regarding the solution of this particular question. So as I was telling you, N3 has already given us the value of N1 1200, T1 and T3 is given. We'll get the value of N3 as 900 RPM. So with this we can find the velocity ratio. N3 and N1 is there, 3 by 4. The velocity ratio for this one is 3:4 for this particular question. So remember always, whenever a simple gear train is given, we can apply directly that the speed of the driven gear, the ratio of the ratio of the speed of the driven gear to the speed of the driver gear is equal to the number of teeth of the driver gear to the number of teeth on the driven gear, which we'll see also in further now. Next question. So now if you see here again has mentioned it is a simple gear itself, which means it is a simple gear train itself. Read the question carefully. A simple gear consists of 4 gears having 30, 40, 50 and 60 teeth respectively. Determine the speed and direction of rotation of the last gear if the first gear rotates 600 RPM in clockwise direction. So already has mentioned that there is a simple gear, or it is a simple gear train itself. It is having how many gears in this question? There are number of gears mounted are 4, which means each gear is mounted on each shaft. So there are 4 gears, 4 shafts. He has given the number of teeth for each gear: 30 teeth, 40 teeth, 50 teeth and 60 teeth respectively. Determine the speed and direction of rotation of the last gear. So last gear means obviously this will be your driven gear. So for the driven gear, you need to find out the speed as well as direction of rotation. If the first gear rotates at a 600 RPM, speed for the first gear is given, that is our driver gear. First gear means this is our driver gear. It rotates at 600 RPM and already has given the direction for the driver gear also. It is the clockwise direction. So already I have told you. So if the first gear is our driver gear, then we are having the 4 gears in this. So last gear will be our driven gear. Between two, what they will be? They are nothing but they are our idler gears. So this is the first idler gear. This is our second idler gear, and this is the last driven gear. So this is number 1 driver gear. This is 2 is the idler gear, 3 is the idler gear, and 4 is the driven gear. So this is the assembly, and already has given the direction that the driver gear has to rotate in the clockwise direction. So if this rotates in the clockwise direction, then definitely the idler gear too, it has to rotate in the anti-clockwise direction. Then once this rotates in the anti-clockwise direction, then what about your gear 3? idler gear 3, it is rotating in clockwise direction. So once this is rotating in the clockwise direction, your driven gear, it has to rotate in the anti-clockwise direction. So this is the sketch as well as the directions. So let us see how we can solve this problem in a very simple manner. So given the gear drive arrangement he has given, so this is the sketch I was mentioning you. So gear 1 number of teeth 30, gear 2 number of teeth 40, gear 3 number of teeth is 50, gear 4 number of teeth is 60. So gear 1, it is our driver gear, it is rotating in the clockwise direction. Gear 2 anti-clockwise direction, gear 3 clockwise direction, and gear 4 anti-clockwise direction. First gear, that is our driver gear N1, it rotates at 600 RPM. So we'll write on the table driver gear T1 is 30, which he has given already. Even he has given the speed for the driver gear, it is 600 RPM. Number of teeth is 30. For the second idler gear 2, we are having teeth T2 as 40, idler gear 3, T3 as 50, driven gear we have number of teeth as 60. We need to find what? The speed and direction of rotation for the last gear. Direction of rotation, already you can write here that it is rotating in the anti-clockwise direction of the driven gear. We need to find the speed N4. So if I directly write our velocity ratio, now here what it becomes? For the driven gear in this question it is N4. N4 by N1 is equal to, that is T1 by T4 will give you the velocity for this particular question. So let us see how can write a solution. For simple gear train, velocity ratio is equal to, yes, I was telling you, N4. This is our driven gear, ratio of the driven gear, ratio of speed of the driven gear to the speed of the driver gear, N1 is equal to reciprocal of this one, that is T1 by T4. So already T1 and T4 are given in the question. Even N1 is given to us. We can find the value of N4. So N4 value we have got it around this much value, and it rotates in clockwise, anti-clockwise directions. It is rotating in anti-clockwise direction. This is the thing we need to find the solution here. Next important thing is, next we'll go to the next question. Yes, in the next question he says there is a gear train of 4 gears. This is also having 4 gears. The names of the gears are A, B, C and D. How many teeth are having each gear? 20, 25, 50, 75 teeth respectively. Gear A meshes with gear C, and B is a gear A meshes with gear C, and B is a compound gear with C. Yes, see here, B is a compound gear with C. B meshes with D. If A has a speed of 300 RPM, what is the speed of D? Sketch the gear train. So we have to read this question carefully here. In this question, if you read the things carefully, he says, first of all, there is a gear train of how many gears? We are having 4 gears. The names of 4 gears are A, B, C, D. These are the names of these gears. Gear A has 20 teeth, gear B 25 teeth, gear C 50 teeth, gear D 75 teeth respectively. Now very important point, see here, the gear arrangement they have told that A, B, C, D is there, but if you observe here from this point, gear A, it meshes with gear C. He says gear A, it meshes with gear C, but B is a compound gear with C, which means if you observe here, gears B and gear C, they are compound gear. So compound gear, already I have told you in the previous session that if on a single shaft or if on a one shaft, if there are more than 2 or more than 2 gears are present on the same shaft, we call it as a compound gear. So in this question, if you see on a single shaft, there are both the gears, that is B as well as C. So initially A has to mesh with C, B and C are there on the same shaft, and then he says again B will mesh with D. These are the conditions. So now we need to sketch the gear train. So first we will try to sketch the gear train. So first, which is our driver gear according to our question? This is our driver gear A. So just I will show the rough sketch here. See, this is my gear A. Now the condition given is what he says, gear A, it meshes with gear C. When you are showing this one, even you should show the size of that gears. Each size of the gears depends upon the number of teeth. So if you observe between B and C, B has 25 teeth, C has 50 teeth, which means the diameter of gear C, it has to be larger than gear B. So now right now I will show you here. He says gear A, it is meshing with gear C, which means gear A is giving its power to gear C. So now see here, this is gear C. Gear A, it is meshing with gear C. This is the sketch. It has how much? 50 teeth. But he says B is a compound gear with C. See, the question what he has given, he says B is a compound gear with C, which means gear B and gear C, they are located on the same shaft. So for example, what is the number of teeth for the gear B? It is 25, which means the size of the gear B, it has to be less than the size of the gear C. So if I mount it on the same shaft, how I'll get the sketch? So this is gear B. It is having the same center. Both B and C gears are having the same center of the same shaft itself. This is gear B. And this gear B, what it is meshing? It is meshing with which gear? Gear D. It is having 75 teeth. So it is in this fashion. See here, B has to touch D. This is D. So can you see here that 1 minute, students? Yes. Where we are discussing regarding this one. Sorry for the interruption. Some network problem. So as I was telling you, we had drawn the sketch of these gears, and I was telling you that gear A, it is meshing with gear C depending upon the size. So this is, say, our gear A. Gear C, it's, if you observe here, gear C and gear B. Gear B has 25 teeth, gear C has 50 teeth, which means the size of gear C is, it is very much larger. So now I will show you here. This is the meshing of gear C. The next very important point is gear B, it is mounted on gear C itself. Yes. So which means the same shaft is there for gear B as well as gear C. So this is for our gear B, the same shaft. And the last thing is B meshes with D. This is the thing. B, it has to mesh with D. This is the thing. So now check whether we are satisfying all the conditions. He says gear A meshes with gear C. Is there a thing C has given meshes with gear C? So if you observe here gear A, it is meshing with gear C. Yes, we satisfied this condition. B is a compound gear with C. B and C, they are mounted on the same shaft. We have satisfied even this condition also. Then he says B meshes with D. So this B gear, it meshes with D gear here. You can see here, which means B and D gear, we are meshing with one another. If A has a speed of 300 RPM, we have to find the speed of the gear D, and along with that, we have to complete this sketch also. So we have shown the sketch, but the directions, regarding the directions of each gear, it is not mentioned here. So I told by default what we shall assume is, for driver gear, it starts to rotate in the clockwise direction. So if you observe now here carefully, our driver gear is A. It starts to rotate in clockwise direction. Then what happens to gear C? It has to rotate opposite, that is anti-clockwise direction. Be careful, I told you, both gear B and gear C, they are mounted on the same shaft. If gear C rotates in the anti-clockwise direction, then even gear B also, it also rotates in the anti-clockwise direction. Then gear B, it meshes with gear D, which means what about your gear D? It has to rotate in the clockwise direction. Then only you can complete your sketch. This is very, very, very important. Now let us go for this solution of this particular problem. Let us see what we get. So this is the given data. As I have told you, he has said that the number of teeth for gear A is 200. He has given the number of speed for the gear A is, that is the speed of the gear A is 300 RPM. Number of teeth for gear B 25. Number of teeth for gear C is 50. The number of teeth for gear D is 75. So first complete the sketch. So as I was telling you, the sketch, it is in this particular format. So gear A, it is meshing with gear C, which you can see here. Then gear B, it meshes with gear D here. It is gear A is our driver gear, gear D is our driven gear. So as I was telling you, if you observe carefully, B and C, they are mounted on the same shaft, and the direction of B and C, they are same itself. I repeat, the rotation of gear C and gear B both are same. So gear B and gear C, they rotate in the anti-clockwise direction, but gear B is meshing with gear D. Therefore, gear D rotates in the clockwise direction. So these are the things. Now let us write how we can find out the velocity ratio. Now, very, very important point here is, previously for a simple gear train, we are writing the velocity ratio as the speed of the driven gear to the speed of the driver gear. The LHS part, even here it is also same, but here the RHS changes. Here the RHS changes as product of number of teeth, product of number of teeth of the driver gear to the product of number of teeth on the driven gear. It changes in this fashion. Now let us see how we are writing this one. So first we will complete the sketch conditions. As I told you, we are assuming for gear A as they are rotating in the clockwise direction. Then what it means, gear A drives gear C, and gear C and gear B drives gear D. Gear B and gear C, they are compound gears which are rotating in the same direction with the same speed. Then what about our next velocity ratio? As I was telling you, speed of the last gear, it is our driven gear, to the speed of our driver gear is equal to product of number of teeth, the product of teeth or driver gear to the product of teeth on driven gear. So if you observe in this sketch, when A is meshing with C, when A is meshing with C, A is our driver gear. This is first condition. When B is meshing with D, which is our driver gear now, B is the driver gear. So you have to write these conditions here. So how we will get? Let us see here. The same thing, velocity ratio for a compound gear train is equal to speed of the driven gear to the speed of the driver gear, product of teeth on a driver to the product of teeth on a driven gear. So if you observe the sketch, I was telling you, when we compare, I was telling you, once again I will show you here also. Once I make the analysis of these two gears, that is gear A and gear C. Once I make the analysis of gear A and gear C, gear A, it is driving gear C, which means this becomes a driver and gear C becomes a driven. That is TA is the driver here. For this assembly, we get TA by TC. This we already know. We are writing the same phenomena. Similarly, when I go for the next combination, that is writing for the next one, gear B and gear D, that is here, this particular part, gear B, it is driving gear D, which means B is your driver gear. It becomes TB by TD, that is here. So ultimately, how I'll write the velocity ratio RHS part becomes product of teeth of the driver gears to the product of teeth on the driven gears. If you write this much, you can find the solution for finding the velocity ratio for a compound gear train. So now we have the simplification. What you get the value of ND? It is as 40 RPM. And what is the direction of this driven gear? If you observe right now, it is in the clockwise direction rotating. Next question. So the next question is there is a compound gear train. It is having 4 gears. The names of the 4 gears are PQRS, having 20, 40, 60 and 80 teeth respectively. The gear P is keyed to driving shaft. The gear P is keyed to the driving shaft, which means gear P is our driver gear. Gear S the driven shaft. Q and R are compound gears. Q meshing with P and R meshes with S. If P rotates at 150 RPM, what is the RPM of gear S? Show gear arrangement. So this question is as similar to the previous question itself. Here is given the 4 gears, and already as mentioned that in this question, P gear P is our driver gear, and this gear P, if you observe carefully, yes, gear P it is key to the driving shaft, which means gear P is our driver gear. Gear S is our driven gear. He has given the number of teeth for each gear. Q and R, he has said they are compound gears, which means both are gears already on the are fixed on the same shaft. So let us see how we can write this one. So this is gear P. He has given. This is gear P. If you see the condition, what he says, Q meshes with P, which means P meshes with Q. So this is in this particular thing, you can see this is gear Q. And now he says Q and R on the same shaft. So if you observe here like this, I'm showing these dotted lines because gear R, it is behind gear Q. It is giving its power to which one? Gear S, R meshes with S. So this is this one. Yes. Let us check, can you satisfy the conditions? He says P meshes with Q. Here P is meshing with Q, right? Q and R are compound gears, both are on the same shaft, yes. And R meshes with S. All the conditions achieved. Here again, he has not mentioned the directions, which means what you can say is by default, you can assume for gear P rotating in a clockwise direction, Q and R anti-clockwise direction, and S rotating in the clockwise direction. So with this, we shall start the solution steps one by one. So the given conditions we have noted here regarding TP, TQ, TR, TS. He has given the speed for gear P. We need to find the speed for gear S. Next thing. So we will complete the sketch. So you can see here, as I was telling you, P meshes with Q. Q and R, they are on the same shaft. Yes, these are the dotted lines. You cannot see the gear R behind as it is behind gear Q, but R meshes with S, you can see at this point. So now the directions they have assumed: P to rotate in the clockwise direction, Q and R in the anti-clockwise, and R is driving S, so S rotates in the clockwise direction. So therefore Q and R are our compound gears. So now velocity ratio, speed of the last gear, which is our last gear, this is a gear S, that is NS by NP is equal to product of the teeth of the driver to the product of teeth on driven. So if between P and Q, which is our driver, it is TP. TP is the new TP by TQ into TR by TS, or TP into TR divided by TQ by TS will give you the value for velocity ratio. So this NS by NP is equal to TP into TR. That is, if you take the first assembly of two gears P and Q, P is the driver gear, TP. Second assembly between R and S, TR is the driver gear, TP into TR divided by TQ into TS. So if you simplify, you get the value as 56.25 RPM. Next question. So already in this question, if you observe, he has given the table for you. He has given even the arrangement of the gears. Totally how many gears you can see in the sketch? Around 6 gears are there. So it says illustrated in figure below is the gear drive arrangement which is used in a machine tool. Motor drives gear A, which means gear A is our driver gear, 950 rpm. Gears B, C, D and E are fixed to parallel shafts. Yes, B, C, they are fixed in a common shaft, which means B and C is one compound gear train. Then D and E are fixed on one shaft. This is also one compound gear train. The number of teeth on each gear is given below. Yes, he has given for each gear the number of teeth are given below. What he has asked us to determine the speed of gear F. You have to find the speed of gear F, which is mounted on the output shaft. Already he has given the directions also. So if you observe, gear rotates in the clockwise direction, gear B and C anti-clockwise, then gear D and E clockwise direction, and gear F in the anti-clockwise direction. So here this is also a problem on a compound gear train itself. So for compound gear train, velocity ratio is ratio of the speed of the last gear, that is NF divided by NA is equal to product of teeth on the driver gear to the product of teeth on the driven gear. So first important thing is you have to find out how many number of teeth of they present on the driver gear. So if you observe carefully here, the first combination is between A and C. This is here. This is the first combination. So A is driving gear B. A is driving gear B. So A becomes your driver, that is TA divided by TB. Now, what is our second combination? Let us see one by one all the combinations. Then only you will understand how we are solving this one. Second combination is between C and D, that is at this point. C is driving gear D, right? Which means how I can write here is product of teeth of the driver gear to the driven gear. So here I can write this as TC by TD. And the last one, what it is the combination? Gear E, it meshes with gear F. This is the combination. So E is the driver gear, F is the driven gear. That is teeth of the driver gear, the teeth of the driven gear. So if I multiply all together, product of teeth of the driver gear to the product of teeth on the driven gear. This is TF. This is TF. So let us see what we'll get the equation now. So yes, as I told you, gear A, it is driving gear B, which means A is our driver, B is our driven gear, first case. Second case, gear C drives gear D. Third case, gear E drives gear F. So now, as I was telling you, we are using this equation. Then, yes, as I told you, TA by TB, this combination TC by TD into TE by TF. Or if you observe carefully, product of teeth on a driver to the product of teeth on the driven, you get this case. Substitute the things, simplify and get the answers. So the speed of the driven gear is 48.71 rpm. These are the things. Now, next question. He says there is a simple gear train of wheels, 4 gears A, B, C, D, having 20, 40, 60 and 70 teeth respectively. Gear A is mounted on the driving shaft. Gear B and C are idler gears. Gear A rotates at 500 rpm in clockwise direction. Calculate speed and direction of gear D. Train value of the gear train, speed and direction of intermediate gears. Sketch the arrangement of gear train using simple circles. So already this kind of problem you have seen here regarding simple gears. They are given the number of teeth also. Only the additional point in this question is regarding the train value. That is this point. Except this we can find the other things. So just I will move on directly speaking to the things. As it is a case of a simple gear train. The simple gear train already we have discussed that. This is gear A. It meshes with gear B. Then it meshes with gear C and gear D. So A, B, C, D. So then next it says gear A is mounted on the driving shaft, which means this is our driver gear and this is our driven gear. B and C, they are the idler gears. If gear A rotates at 500 in the clockwise direction, he has given the direction for the gear A. This is rotating in the clockwise direction, which means B definitely rotates in the opposite direction. That is, it has to rotate in the anti-clockwise direction. Gear C, it has to rotate in the clockwise direction. And gear D, it has to rotate in the anti-clockwise direction. That is the opposite direction. These are the things. So complete the sketch, start the solution. Let us see the things what we can do here. Yes, the given things I have noted down here with respect to all the 4 gears A, B, C, D. We have written for all the 4 gears the conditions what he has given to us. Solution part. So already he has told to assume that A rotates in the clockwise direction. We have assumed that also in the this is the given part of the question. Next, yes, we have completed the sketches also. A in the clockwise, B in the anti-clockwise, C in the clockwise, D in the anti-clockwise. Here D is our driven gear. Now we need to find the speed for a driven gear. So when gear drives, and apart from this, here we have to find out the velocity for each gears also. Starting from the first 2 gears A and B, we have to find the velocity ratio for A and B. So NB by NA is equal to TA by TB. This is for gear A and B. So with respect to gear A and B, we have to find the velocity ratio. Let us see what we get. NB by NA is equal to TA by TB. So on solution, what we get for NB, it is 250 RPM speed of the idler gear. Next, we move for B and C. When we move for B and C, this is the combination of B and C here. So what we get now? NC by NB is equal to TB by TC. You will get the speed of the idler gear using this equation. Let us see what do we get here. Gear B drives gear C. NC by NB is equal to TB by TC. NC by NB is equal to TB by TC. So TB by TC, what do we get? The value of NC is 166.67 RPM. Now we are remaining with the last combination, that is gear C drives gear D, that is this combination, which means ND by NC is equal to TD by TC. TD by TC. So what do we get it here? Let us see. Yes, gear C drives gear C. Velocity ratio is ND by NC. ND by NC is equal to TC by TD. That is speed of the driven gear to the speed of the driver is equal to number of teeth on the driver gear to the driven gear. TC by TD. ND by NC is equal to TC by TD. So what do we get? We get it as 142.86 RPM. So once we get this one, we have found the speed for the driven gear also. Only one thing left here is we have to find out the train value. This is the new part. So train value is nothing but it is, if you find out the reciprocal of the entire gear train, it is nothing but it is a train value. So in simple words, train value is the reciprocal of the velocity ratio for the entire gear train. So how we can write this one? 1 by velocity ratio of the simple gear train. So velocity ratio for a simple gear train, that is ND by NA is equal to TA by TD. So 1 divided by velocity ratio, you will get the train value. The same thing we are doing here. ND by NA, you get the velocity ratio. 1 divided by velocity ratio, you get the train value. This is the things. So once you substitute, and we get the value of train value here. So 1 divided by 0.28572 will give you the value of the gear train. So these are some of the simple problems with respect to the gear drives. So if you have any doubts regarding to the gear drives problems, you can send me the comments through the YouTube channel itself. Okay. Thank you students for the today's class.